I'm Torrey Smith from the Philadelphia Eagles, and you're watching CITV.
Hello and welcome to another edition of CITV Sports. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. It's Tuesday, April 10th, 2018. We're in Plymouth, Pennsylvania at the Plymouth Whitemarsh High School varsity baseball turf for Suburban 1 American Baseball featuring the Springfield Township Spartans of Erdenheim, Pennsylvania and the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials of Plymouth Meeting. This is the first time CITV is ever filming a game here at the varsity baseball turf. Springfield comes into the day 2-2 on the season, 1-1 in the conference, while the Colonials are 4-2 overall, 2-1 in Suburban 1 American. Plymouth Whitemarsh in 2017 was 6-14 overall, 3-11, tied for last in the conference. With the win here today, PW can match its conference win total from a year ago. We'll have 7 minutes of regulation here in PWA baseball. It could end earlier by run rules. The team is leading by 15 after 3 or 4 or at any duration during that time, the game would end. If a team leads by 10 in the 5th inning, then the game would end even to 6. On the mound for PW will be Ben Mascio. First base for PW will be Brett Bottinger. Shortstop Stephen Longo. And Jacob Nunez will be in second base. Anthony Tomasetti third. Center field Mike Orensky. Right field Andrew Cleash. Left field Rich Lerner. I believe Kevin Lively might be behind the plate. The head coach for Springfield in his 6th season is Dennis Primavera. Chris Monero is in his 6th season as the skipper at Plymouth Whitemarsh. The Spartans and Colonials have met 16 times in the last 10 years. PW is 9-7 in that span, but Springfield has won each of the past 3 meetings, including May 4th, 2017, the last one, which was here in Plymouth Meeting at the old varsity baseball field, which is behind this turf. Springfield won 3-0. Leading off for Springfield is McLeod Farley. Farley on the season batting .167. He has walked 4 times and also struck out 4 times. Springfield coming off a 5-3 loss to Hatboro Horsham at Hatboro Horsham on April 9th. Damasio with the first pitch. And it is good in there. And it's no balls, 1 strike to Farley. We're underway in Plymouth Meeting. It is a little windy and about 45 Fahrenheit. Here's the next pitch. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes to McLeod Farley, who also is a pitcher. Springfield this season has scored 19 runs. In first innings this season, 7 runs. Grounded up the third. Tomasetti to Bottinger, 1 away. 1 out, top of the first, no one on for Springfield. Put out third base the first. On the ground out, next up will be Tim Dom. Springfield has not hit a home run in 21 consecutive games. Dom is the last to hit one out. Dom this season is batting .200. And that's in there for a strike. 0-1 to count. All strikes That's 0-1 to Dom. There is a pitch count in the PWHS. The maximum you can throw in the game is 100. Swung on and missed. 0-2 to Tim Dom. The home run I'm alluding to that he hit in 2017 was March 25th of last season in a 6-5 win over Germantown Friends, and Springfield hasn't homered since. Grounded to short. Longo loses it. Will fire. Not in time. And safe at first will be Dom. We'll see how that is scored. That will be E. That will be an error on Stephen Longo. So 1 out. Dom on first. Springfield 0. Plymouth Whitemarsh not yet to bat. Nick Pave now at the dish. So Dom on first on the error. There's a scoreboard in left center. Outside, 1-1. So dimensions here at the new baseball turf, 320 feet to left and right foul poles, 345 to left center and right center, and 375 to dead center. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, top of the first. Runner on first on an error. Maciel will throw back to Bonninger. He is safe. There are 2 PWA umpires, one in the infield, the other behind the plate. Plymouth Whitemarsh this season, in the opposition's first inning, has given up 7 runs. And that's a little high. 2 balls and a strike now to Nick Pave. Pave batting .200 with 1 run batted in, a couple walks, and 3 strikeouts. Spartans 0, PW 0. And that's a little high there by Macio. The count is now 3-1. 4 balls, and that is a walk. Springfield this season has walked 18 times in its first 4 games. Now the pitch there, grounded to the left side. Thomas said he's got to hurry, and it's in time. And now in front of third, they got him! Double play! And that's a miscue on the part of Tim Dom, who was erased trying to advance all the way from first. So third base to first on the out, and then Dom got put out at third to retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and no one left on base after 1/2 inning. It's the Springfield Spartans 0, Plymouth Whitemarsh coming to bat. The Colonials this season 4-2, coming off of a 7-6 win at Abington on April 9th. Believe it or not, in that game, PW trailed 4-0 after 1 inning. PW put up a 6th spot in the 3rd before giving up 2 in the bottom of the 4th. The Colonials got 1 in the top of the 6th and held on for a 7-6 win. So Springfield 0, Plymouth Whitemarsh coming to bat. This is PW's 4th game this season here. Plymouth Whitemarsh has hit 3 home runs here. And it looks like Chris Monero right now is yelling at the umpires. Not sure why. Maybe giving some ground rules. Now the Spartans. No, that was actually, the inning is not over. Ladies and gentlemen, there might have been interference. The inning is not over. Everyone is back in the field, top of the first, still in. We're still in the top of the first. Mascio is back to the plate. I don't understand what's going on. So Nick Pave was out for the second out. Dom advanced. So the game is still in the top of the first. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now Max Perry at the dish, batting .091 on the season. I'm not sure what the umpires might have seen, but the inning is still the top of the first. I have not seen that before. Was there interference? So 2 outs. We're still in the top of the first. We're not heading to the bottom of the first. And it's 1 ball, no strikes to Max Perry. 1 of 13 on the season with a run. His lone hit was a single. It's in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count to Max Perry with 2 outs at the top of the first, with Tim Dom on third after we originally thought he was erased on a double play, but apparently there might have been some interference. And that's another called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the first. Tim Dom on third. Mascio on the mound, trying to finish this off for good this time. 1-2. Good catch there by Bonninger to retire to the side. Okay, the inning is now over. On the out to first base. Okay, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on. 1 error to our knowledge. Officially through 1/2 inning, it's the Springfield Spartans of Erdenheim 0, Plymouth Whitemarsh coming up. So no hits allowed, and now it'll be time for the Spartans to take the field. On the mound for the Spartans will be Nick Pave, who is 0 for 1 today at the plate. So for Mascio, did not allow a single, double, triple, or long ball. Plymouth Whitemarsh this season, as I said, hit 3 home runs already here. Last season, the Colonials had 3 total long balls. Plymouth Whitemarsh's last conference game was April 6th. PW defeated Upper Dublin here in Plymouth, meaning 7-0 on 3 home runs. The first ever home run hit here was by Stephen Longo. Mike Oretsky and Ben Mascio also went deep. Plymouth Whitemarsh this season hoping to get to the playoffs for the first time since 2014. Springfield hasn't been in the playoffs in 2 years when it was District 1 AA. It's now District 1 4A as we have 6 classifications. And now we're at the bottom of the first for the PW Colonials. So Pave getting his final warm-up tosses. So interesting to see how Springfield pitches here, because Spartans pitching apparently have allowed 5 hits or fewer in 4 straight games. Jacob Nunez will lead it off for the Colonials. Nunez is actually having a great start to the season, helping contribute PW to the 4-2 start. He has a couple of doubles and at least 4 runs already. Now here's Nick Pave on the mound, and will foul off straight back into the trees that don't have any plants on it at this time. We're in this season of spring, but the first pitch fouled off behind home plate, out of play, 0-1 to Jacob Nunez. Swung on, base hit to right field, and Nunez is on with a single. He continues his hot hitting start. So we have a leadoff runner on first. Pitcher Ben Mascio is at the dish. One home run on the season. It came on April 6th here against Upper Dublin. So leadoff runner on. It's Springfield 0, PW batting. Mascio has some pop. Nunez dancing off the first base bag a couple of feet. And that is fouled off behind home plate, probably protecting the bat. So 0-1 to count to Mascio. PW hasn't recorded 10-plus offensive hits at home since getting 10 in an 11-1 win over Radnor to finish last season. That was May 18, 2017. That was PW's last home game before construction of this brand new facility. 0-1 for runner on first, no one out. And that's another strike. 0 balls, 2 strikes to Ben Mascio with no one out. In the bottom of the first, Nunez on first on the single. Nick Pave on the mound for the Spartans. Springfield last won a District 1 championship in 2014. District 1 AA. So the wind picking up here. 0-2 to Mascio. Dancing off first base is Nunez. The pitch there swung on and again popped out onto the grass. Possibly onto Colonial Drive. And still 0-2 to Mascio. Nunez will dance a couple feet off the bag. Hands razzle-dazzling. No one out. Bottom of the first, 0-0. Springfield in the field. In the blue and I think gray. Good eye there for Mascio. 1-2 to the sophomore, Ben Mascio. PW's uniforms looking like retro-style Chicago White Sox in the 70s. Say PWHS on the front. 1-2. Outside. Couldn't be framed there. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Ben Mascio. PW has allowed 9 hits or fewer in 7 straight games. Did not allow one in the top of the first. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Nunez has to go back to first, and oh, he's just safe. One under the throw. Nunez got to be careful. It's a real good throw. Millisecond off, would have been out. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, no one out, bottom of the first. The top of the first looked like it ended after the third batter, but everyone had to come back on because there might have been interference. So no score. Outside ball 4, so what started out, no balls and 2 strikes, took 4 balls. Good at that for Mascio, and the first 2 runners are on for the Colonials with no one out. Now for Stephen Longo, the shortstop. 1 home run on the season with a pair of triples. He hit the first home run in the history of this field. Longo also plays soccer and football. So Pave in trouble. No one out in the bottom of the first with Nunez in second and Mascio on first. Longo looks at a ball. Good eye there by catcher. And it's 1-0. Wind still picking up speed. PW in first innings this season scored 1 run. That came in a 7-2 loss to Legacy March 28th in Vero Beach, Florida. Here's the pitch. Good eye there again. 2-0 to count. Nick Pave's in trouble. The righty tried to get a sign there. 1 to 25 total pitches requires no rest. 26 to 50 is one calendar day. Swung on and missed, 2-1 to count. Now the Longo. 51 to 75 pitches by a pitcher is 2 calendar days of rest. And 76 to 100, which is the maximum, is 3 days. And you cannot pitch more than twice in a calendar week. And you cannot throw more than 2 consecutive days. Low ball 3, 3 balls, 1 strike, no one out. Bottom of the first with runners on first and second. Nunez on second. He led off with a single. And there's a courtesy runner for Mascio. It's Danny Green. And that's swung on, fouled back. And it is 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count has gone full. So Danny Green, the courtesy runner, is on first. Nunez on second. Full count, bottom of the first. Springfield nothing, PW 0. Swung on, foul back. Out of play. Into the trees. So here's an interesting tidbit. Since 2013, the most runs PW has scored in a single inning against Springfield was 7 in a 9-1 win over the Spartans here on April 14th, 2016. Low ball 4, and the bases are loaded with no one out. And here is Kevin Riley. Now, in case you're wondering, the last time a Colonial hit a home run in Plymouth meeting, well, I know that Bobby Slagle hit one back in April of 2011 against Upper Dublin. So back-to-back walks issued by Pave. Riley, the catcher, I believe a sophomore. Check swing, fouled. So no balls and a strike to Riley. He has at least 2 walks this season, so he's patient. Pave struggling with command, but Riley fouled that back. So bases loaded, no one out, bottom of the first. Springfield nothing, PW 0 as well. Swung on and missed as that ball went low. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Riley. So Springfield had 4 plate appearances in the top of the first. Did not get a hit. PW 4th plate appearance here. Nunez on second, Green on second, and Nunez on third. And at first is Longo, and that swung on and missed, struck him out. It's a huge out as Riley is the first out of the inning, first strikeout victim for Nick Pave, 1 away in the bottom of the first. Base is still loaded with 1 out. Almost hit him. It's now Anthony Tomasetti. Third baseman with 1 away. Alrighty, for 1-0 count. Nunez on third, Danny Green on second, and Longo on first. Pave with 2 walks and also a hit allowed. And that's in their third called strike, 1-1 to count. Tomasetti. He has struck out at least 7 times this season. It's another good eye. This is actually Brad Krennicke. I'm sorry. It's Brad Krennicke. He hit a home run last season. Hit up the left side, base hit! That will play home one. And the bases are still loaded. He is safe, and it is an RBI single for Brad Krennicke, and it's Plymouth Whitemarsh taking the 1-0 lead, and PW has scored against the Spartans for the first time since April 10th, 2017, in the 4-2 loss. So the sixth man already coming up to the plate as Nunez scored. Mascio advances the third. Actually, it's Green advancing the third. Longo now the second. So 1-0 PW at the bottom of the first on a single. Base is still loaded, and it's swung on and missed from Andrew Cleach. Cleach had one sayonara last season. I think that was in a 12-2 loss to Wissahickon at the old varsity field here in Plymouth Meeting. So sixth batter already at the dish for the Colonials. Time is called. Nick Pave's pitch count already steep. So PW already up 1-0. Just a first inning run this season by the Colonials. And it's now 1-1 to Cleach. That's actually the first inning run allowed by the Spartans this season. It's the only inning this season the Spartans had not given up a run before this game. And that's low. And it's 2-1. PW doing very well at the plate right now in terms of discipline. Dennis Rivera's club in trouble. Bases still loaded. Chris Monero, well, his club is seeing the ball very well. So it's Green on third, Longo second, Krennicke on first, and that's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the first, 1-0 PW. And PW is 2-1 in the conference, Springfield 1-1. Pave gets his sign. Deliver. Ground up the middle, that's another base hit. Everyone else will hold up as scoring on the play will be Danny Green, and it's now Plymouth Whitemarsh 2, Springfield nothing. Anthony Tomasetti comes to the plate. Give Cleach an RBI. Single. So Nunez and Green have come home, and we're going to have a conference at home. So here is Anthony Tomasetti. He is strikeout prone, at least 7 Ks this season. It's 2-0 PW, 1 out, bottom of the first, still bases loaded. So Longo now on third, Krennicke at second, and Cleach on first. It's 0-1 to count to Tomasetti, the 7th man to come up. So really good start for Chris Monero's squad. This is the 10th straight game PW has scored in. PW has scored 9 runs or fewer in 6 straight. Ball will be thrown back. So already 3 singles this inning. Really high upstairs. That's 2-1 the count to Anthony Tomasetti. So Nunez started the inning with a single. He came around to score with the RBI single. Bases loaded by Krennicke. Cleach with an RBI single brought in Danny Green, who courtesy ran for Ben Mascio, who walked. Fell behind, out of play, onto what used to be the varsity baseball field, and it's now 2-2 to count. The Tomasetti up 2-0. Wind blowing in. About 45 Fahrenheit in Plymouth Meeting, but the sun is peeking through and out. A lot of cloud cover though. American flags heavily blown. It's nice to have a turf complex here enclosed with fences. Grounded to the right side, throw to home to get the force, and it'll be a fielder's choice. So Alonga will be erased at home on the force. So Tomasetti reaches first on a fielder's choice. Everyone else advances 2 away, bottom of the first. Now the 8th man to come up for the Colonials. So Tomasetti on first on a fielder's choice. Cleach on second, on third Krennicke. The bases are loaded 2-0 PW over Springfield. Swung on and missed. 0-1 to Which Lerner. He has scored at least 4 runs this season. PW with the 2 runs has now scored 28 times this season in the 7th game. Fouled back. It's the top of the dugout, Springfield's dugout, so 0-2. New to PW are dugouts. There didn't used to be dugouts, but with this new baseball complex, has some extra amenities. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the first, Nick Pave still on the mound, and it's a little in. So 1-2. So Krennicke on third, Cleach on second, and Tomasetti on first. 8th man up the bat is Werner. Nunez and Danny Green have scored. Nick Pave still on the mound. Swung on a miss, struck him out. To finally retire the side, 8 men came to the plate, but it was a really good one. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left. After 1 inning, it is Plymouth Whitemarsh, the home team, 2, Springfield, the visitors, nothing. Really good start for the Colonials, looking to get their 3rd conference win of the season. 2 extra snow days has caused the 2017-18 Colonial School District school year to now end on Monday, June 18th, and not Thursday, June 14th. Plymouth Whitemarsh graduation is still scheduled to take place Tuesday, June 12th at 6:30 p.m. with a rain date of Wednesday, June 13th. With the final week of the school year extended by 2 days, Monday, June 11th and Tuesday, June 12th will be a full day for all students. So we now go to the top of the second as Ben Mascio goes back to the mound. Faced only 4 Spartans in the top of the first. The top of the first was interesting, but there was a double play after a ground out. Originally, Tim Dom was erased at third, but there might have been interference. So, I believe leading off for the Spartans will be Trevor McCaffrey, batting .222 on the season. Springfield this season has 4 doubles and 1 triple. McCaffrey 2 for 11, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, no runs scored. So the Springfield coaches will take the first and third base boxes. So Plymouth Whitemarsh in white, Springfield in blue and gray bottoms. And everyone will now bring it in. So McCaffrey at the dish. You're watching Suburban One American Baseball on CITV. We also plan on bringing Cheltenham at PW Baseball later this season. I believe it'll be Teacher Appreciation Day at the circumstances for it. That'd be in May of 2018, toward the end of the season. So 2-0 PW as Springfield batting in the top of the second. It's McCaffrey. Swung on and missed. 0-1 to count the Trevor McCaffrey, who's batting .222. Marcia will deliver and it'll be grounded out. Tomasetti now, easy out there, one away. Good put out there by Brett Bottinger. So another ground out from third to first. It's the fourth ground out already for the Spartans. And it looks like it is Jake Welsh facing Massia with one out. Good pitch in there, and it's 0-1 to Welsh with one out in the top of the second. PW up 2-0, sending 8 men to the plate in the bottom of the first and getting 2 RBI singles. Oh, good whiff there. Looked like a little curve or a change. And Welsh is down in the count, 0-2. Springfield hasn't been to the state playoffs in 4 years. Would like to get back there this year, and that's fouled back into some trees, out of play. So remains 0-2. Again, most a pitcher can throw is 100 pitches in a game. You can continue the at-bat if you're at number 98 and you get to number 100. And then when the plate appearance is done, you got to get taken out. Good take there, and it's 1-2 to Welch. On deck will be Brian Murphy. Swung on and missed, struck him out. That's the first strikeout of the game for Massia. 2 up, 2 down in this top of the second. They'll bring up Brian Murphy, batting 182 with a triple, 1 run batted in, and 1 run. He is prone to striking out. In his first 4 games of this season, he has struck out 6 times. So the lefty Massia delivers a little outside. 1-0 with 2 outs. The top of the second, but it's Plymouth Whitemarsh leading 2-0. It's the first time this season PW has scored 2 runs in a first inning. Grounded up the middle. Oh, good take there by Longo to stop it and retire the side in order. Oh, what a play by Longo. Looked like it was going right up the middle. And it'll just be a ground out to short for Murphy. No runs, hits, errors, no one left. For 1.5 innings, Springfield is down 2-0 to the Colonials. It will be 9, 1, and 2 hitters for Plymouth Whitemarsh. Suburban One Sports is the Suburban One League's premier high school sports authority, providing athletes and fans the latest sports news, scores, and photos. Visit Suburban One Sports online at www.suburban1sports.com. So in case you're wondering about Springfield and being in Suburban One, the Spartans in 2011 and 12 were actually in the Bicentennial Athletic League. Before that, had been in Suburban 1, returned after the 2012 school year to Suburban 1 American. Speaking of Suburban 1 American, after this school year, Abington will become a member of Suburban 1 American, and Quakertown would join the Suburban 1 Continental. And you start to think, oh boy, Abington, really good basketball teams. In fact, Abington's Eric Dixon, I think, not too long from now, going to make a college decision for men's basketball, and he's a junior. So Abington will be playing PW a couple of times in each sport next season that involve multiple meetings. So PW sent 8 guys in the bottom of the first, getting the 9th here. Now it's center fielder Mike Orensky, who has been a machine at the plate this season. In fact, in a 4-1 win over Upper Moreland in the inaugural game here on April 5th, he had all 4 RBIs with a bases clearing double. He also has 1 home run. And he is going for it, swung on and missed. 0-1 to Mike Orensky. First year, I believe, on varsity. After him, we'll flip the lineup card and go to Jacob Nunez, who's 1 for 1 with a run. Orensky misses it again. It's 0-2 to Mike Orensky. In second innings this season, PW has scored 3 runs. And that was in a 5-4 loss. So that was a 4-1 win over Upper Moreland. Had to look at the stats there. A little high, 1-2. For Springfield in second innings this season has allowed 3 runs to opponents in the second. All 3 were to Hatboro Horsham on April 9th. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes, no one out in the bottom of the second. Orensky at the dish. He fell behind 0-2, and now he's coming back in the count against Nick Pave, who struggled and labored in the first inning but was able to get out with just 2 runs allowed. And Orensky whiffs there and struck him out. And now it will be Jake Nunez. It's a second straight strikeout for Nick Pave. Nunez is at the dish, his first time up. He singled and scored. He scored on the Krennicke bases loaded single. So Nunez now with a handful of runs, and he takes a called strike, 0-1 to Jacob Nunez. 2017, he was not a particularly good hitter. Entering the season, really worked hard on his conditioning to get better. And I think he was swinging for the fences on that one. It was a good pitch, but he completely missed on it. It's 0-2. Pave has now retired 2 in a row. But it's 0-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the second. PW up 2. Outside. 1-2. Springfield pitchers this season have not plunked the batter, according to the statistics, in 4 games so far. 1-2. Swung on and missed, and Pave is into a groove. That is his 3rd straight swinging strikeout. So 2 away in the bottom of the second and no one on. It's Ben Mascio, who walked and had been courtesy run by Danny Green, who scored in his place on the Andrew Cleach RBI single in the first. So he's 0 for 0. Again, Mascio has popped 1 home run this season. Came here. There's a lot of wind. That's going to pop out of play behind home plate. 0-1 to Mascio. So that's 3 straight outs dating back to the bottom of the first for Nick Pave, settling in all by strikeout. Well, getting a bit breezy here in Plymouth Meeting. Another good pitch from Pave, and it's 0-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. PW2, Springfield nothing. The pitcher, Mascio, at the dish for the 2nd time in this game. That's high outside, 1-2. Pave came into this game 1-0. On the season, with 2 runs allowed, 1 earned, and I believe 9 innings. Grounded to Pave. 1-2 on the put out, and it's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the second for Nick Pave. No runs, hits, errors, and no one left on base after 2 innings. It's Plymouth Whitemarsh 2, Springfield nothing. Want to know how your spring sports team is doing in District 1? DistrictScores.com can help you out. Make sure to select Spring Sports and then your desired sport to find records and rankings in each PIAA classification. In baseball, PW is 6A. I believe Springfield is 4A. That's DistrictScores.com. You don't have to wait each week for results to come out like in past seasons. Again, I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. It's Tuesday, April 10th, 2018, a bit breezy day in the mid 40s in Fahrenheit. Usually we're in the 50s or 60s this time of year. And this Plymouth Whitemarsh senior class trip coming up on April 11th. And with the way we've been having weather lately, it'd be a nice getaway for the students. We've already had spring break, but it felt like winter has continued. So in the top of the third, Springfield trailing 2-0 is going to have 8, 9, and then McLeod Farley at the dish. So PW 2 in the first, none the second. Springfield none the first, none the second. PW with 3 hits. Springfield has just 1 base runner. So Mascio back on the mound. So the wind is still howling here. I know it's only a 2-run difference, but the last time PW won a game by run rule was May 18th, 2017, 11-6 in 6 innings over Radnor, with 7-1 entering the bottom of the 6th and score 4 to end it. Now Spartans back at the dish. And at the plate right now is Mitchell McCann. He is the 8-hitter. McCann facing Mastia for the first time, batting .333, 4 for 12 with 1 run. And it's 1-0 to McCann. Now Springfield base runners this season have been very good when it comes to base thefts, 9 for 9. So we got to watch out for that. And that swung on and missed. It's 1-1 to count to Mitchell McCann. Will be followed by the 9-hole and then the leadoff hitter. Nice facility here in Plymouth, meeting in its first year. Chopper, Maccio's got to hurry, and he will get him! 1-3 on the putout. So a chopper to the left side. Hey, defense has been really good here. 1 away. 1-3 on the putout. Kevin Keown at the plate. As time is called, a mound visit with Kevin Riley and Ben Mascio. Keown this season batting .167, 1 run, and 2 RBIs. He's been hit by pitch, I believe, once. Now there's the first pitch, and he'll swing and miss. 0-1 to Kevin Keown. With 1 away in the top of the third, Springfield has just 1 base runner so far. McLeod Farley's on deck. Good one there. It's 1-2 to Keown. 1 out. Top of the third. PW is leading 2-0, both runs in the bottom of the first. Swung and a miss, struck him out. Second strikeout of the game for Mascio. 2 up, 2 down in this inning. Bring up McLeod Farley. Farley grounded out the third his first time up. McLeod Farley, also a pitcher, I believe is the last player for Springfield to allow a home run. That came in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. That's fouled back. 0-1, that was to Norristown. And a 3-2 loss. That was on April 5th, 2016. Farley, I think, a senior. Takes inside. 1-1 to McLeod Farley. Not to be confused with McLeod, like Naeem McLeod, who's a junior, plays basketball at PW. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Speaking of PW basketball, congratulations to Ish Horn and Alan Glover on making their college choices. They're going to be playing for Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference schools. I think Glover going to Indiana, Pennsylvania, and Horn to East Stroudsburg. Time is called. I know former PW basketball player Wes Grant went to East Stroudsburg. He helped PW win the 2010 basketball state title. That's fouled back. You gotta watch out. That's close to the Victory Field parking lot. And if you're parked around there, you gotta start worrying about your car. And because there aren't a lot of game balls allotted, the Springfield player has to run back and find it. So, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the third. McLeod Farley at the dish. Take strike 3! He doesn't like it. And that is the third strikeout for Matthew to retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and left on base. So for 2.5 innings, Plymouth Whitemarsh still leads 2-0. A very great game for PW on defense, just allowing an error so far. One base runner. PW had left 3 on in the first. We're going to the bottom of the third with PW leading 2-0. Nick Pave will go back on to the mound, and it looks like there'll be some Springfield players trotting out to what would be the bullpen to get pitchers warmed up, because pitch count is starting to factor in. The CITV YouTube channel, your online video source for Plymouth Whitemarsh sports, concerts, educational highlights, and more from the students, faculty, and staff of Colonial School District. Visit www.youtube.com and search Colonial Instructional Television. We're adding new videos often, so make sure you go to the CITV YouTube channel. So at the bottom of the third, we'll have Longo, Miley, and Krennicke, as Nick Pave has now retired 4 in a row. Check swing, and he went. So 0-1 to Longo, who walked and was cut out at home his first time up. He was cut out on the fielder's choice by Anthony Tomasetti. It was a bases loaded opportunity. 0-1. That ball has wings to right field. It is outgoing, and it will go to the fence. Watch Longo run. He will be at second with a stand-up double. He has 1 home run in this season, and he shows his power with the first extra base hit of the game. And it's now Kevin Riley, the catcher at the plate, who struck out his first time up. And now PW showing some power. And it went to the track and hit the fence in the right field that has the PW championship banners. PW a 3-time District 1 champ, most recently, though, 1994, when it won the state title. Swung on and missed by Kevin Riley. That 1994 team finished 26-2, number 6 in the United States by USA Today, led by the late Hank DeVito, who passed away in 2014. He was the head coach then. And that swung on a miss, 0-2 now. To Riley. On deck will be Brad Kroenke, who had an RBI single his first time up. PW up 2-0 for leadoff runner on second in the bottom of the third. Now will be a strikeout and passed ball, so the strikeout's recorded, but no out there, so strikeout, passed ball. So on third now will be Longo. First will be Riley, so that is not an out. It will be the fourth strikeout, though, for Nick Pave. And it'll be time for Kroenke to go as we have a courtesy runner for Riley. It will be Tyler Willens. Uniform 9 for PW. So runners at the corners with no one out, bottom of the third. PW at 2-0 for Kroenke, who's got some power as well, but no home runs yet. And that's going to be fouled up behind home plate, out of play. PW has been on Nick Pave. Just been late, though. They could be on time. Get ready for souvenirs in fair territory to possibly fly out. PW with 3 home runs here this season. Throw back the first from Pave. In time is Willens. Throwing to Tim Dom. So Willens on first, Longo on third. And Willens is going, that's going to be swung on, and that's going to be caught. You got to go back to first. He's going to try to go back, and he's going to be safe. It looked like Willens was going to be a dead duck. Wasn't deep enough to tag and score on a sac fly, though, so that is a fly out to right. And it's now Andrew Cleach, who has an RBI single. His first time up, he was left at second base. And the bases were still loaded. So PW threatening again. In third innings this season, PW has scored 6 runs, all 6 in a 7-6 win over Abington on April 9th. So Andrew Cleach, the dish. Righty will deliver. Grounded to the left side, out of play. Foul. 0-1 to Andrew Cleach. On deck, Anthony Tomasetti. So 1 out in the bottom of the third. PW looking to add more. By the way, PW I think gets 13 runs here. The game would end. Because I think now run rule would be 15 in the third and fourth innings. Now Willens is going, and he's going to be safe on the bobbled exchange, so I think a stolen base will be credited to Willens, and I think for the first time this season, Springfield has allowed a stolen bag if it goes down as a steal. So 1 ball, 1 strike to count the Cleach with runners at second and third, so they got 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. The inning started with a double by Longo. He went to third. Kevin Riley had a strikeout pass ball, but he was safe at first. And then Kroenke with a fly out to right. Willens as a courtesy runner for Riley. That's grounded to shortstop. The throw to first is in time, but it is an RBI ground out by Cleach. He has 2 RBIs. Scoring is Longo. And it is now Plymouth Whitemarsh leading 3-0. Willens will remain at second. So 2 RBIs for Cleach. It's 3-0 as it's Tomasetti who had a fielder's choice his first time up. Those 0 for 1. Runner at second with 2 outs. Fouled behind home plate on the ground. It's 0-1 the count to Anthony Tomasetti. Salongo has walked and doubled and has 1 run. Now, umpire will exchange balls with the catcher. Nick Pave still on the mound. He has struck out 4 batters, but 1 had been a pass ball strikeout, and the runner safe at first. Swung on and missed. 0-2 now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd for Tomasetti. PW has 4 hits, 3 singles in this game, and 1 double. Double by Mongo. PW has committed an error. PW has lost each of its past 3 meetings against Springfield. The Colonials had at least 1 error in those 3 losses. Time is called. Catcher will go now to Nick Pave for a brief chat. Now he will go back. Wind still picking up. Plymouth Whitemarsh hoping to make the playoffs for the first time since 2014. That was Chris Monero's 2nd season at the helm. Tough take. He did not go. So 1-2 to count now to 3rd baseman Anthony Tomasetti. Struck out at least 7 times this season. Nick Pave faced 8 batters in the 1st inning. And it swung on and missed, struck him out, and that's the 5th strikeout for Pave to retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We are through 3 innings here in Plymouth meeting. It is Plymouth Whitemarsh 3, Springfield nothing. We're going to do a quick commercial. We'll be back right after this. Two have won the count now on Tim Dom. As we are back, we had to take care of some business. We are back. It's a little low outside. 3 balls, 1 strike, no one out. Top of the 4th for Springfield. PW leading 3-0. PW lost the last meeting against the Spartans, 3-0. That was here in Plymouth meeting. John Pacharo had 3 singles in that game for PW, but could not even get home. Good pitch inside there for a called strike. Full count now to Tim Dom with Nick Pave on deck. So 3-2 to count with no one out in the top of the 4th for Springfield. Springfield just 1 base runner so far. Swung and fouled behind home plate, so it remains a full count. Still a very windy day here in Plymouth meeting. Last season, Suburban 1 American champ was Hatboro Horsham. 2nd place, Quakertown. Hatboro, much different look this season. PW's lone conference loss so far was Wissahickon here, April 5th. PW was the road team because Wissahickon could not play on its home field due to weather conditions and field conditions. And with the turf, you don't have to worry about precipitation. That's grounded. Oh, good stop there by Bonninger. What a play by Brett Bonninger. Are you kidding? Defense is prevailing. A couple of hits snagged thanks to Brett Bonninger. 1-9. That's 3-1 on the putout. 1 away. Man, those are not easy plays. Massio's going to say thank you very much, Mr. Bonninger, as it's now Nick Pave at the plate. with one out in the top of the fourth. Keep this a 3-1 game. A little high. 1-0 to count to Pave, who grounded out to third, his first time up. Pave is the pitcher. The 1-0. Fouled back, hits the protective netting. It's 1-1. Here at PW Baseball Turf, there's protective netting from center field to right field. Also have foul poles and dugouts. Some protective netting and fencing. So 1-1 to Pave. Low in the dirt, good stop there by Riley. It's 2-1 to Pave. Springfield Spartans at the plate with one out in the top of the fourth. Springfield was a District 1 AA champion in 2014. Grounded to short. Longo is there. Low throw, but in time. So ground out to short. 2 up, 2 down in this top of the fourth. Max Perry will be. Is Max Perry up? Should be. It's Max Perry. Grounded out to first, his first time up in the top of the first. That's 10 retired in a row by Ben Mascio. Mascio is in command. 10 retired in 10 plate appearances. Not bad. PW looking for its first back-to-back win streak with consecutive shutouts in conference play for the first time since at least 10 years, and that's going to be another 1-2-3 inning. As that's a ground out the third for Mascio. No runs, hits, errors, no one left. 11 in a row retired by Ben Mascio. What a day for him so far. Heading to the bottom of the fourth, it's Plymouth Whitemarsh, the home team, leading 3-0 still. Wow, what a game it's been defensively for the Colonials. Just an error by Longo is the difference between one runner and no runners. Colonial Instructional Television airs on Channel 28 on both Comcast Cable and Verizon Fios in Plymouth Township, Whitemarsh Township, and Conshohocken Borough. You can even watch CITV videos online. For more information regarding CITV programming, visit colonialsd.org/community/CITV. And don't forget, CITV is now on YouTube.com. Make sure you go to YouTube.com and search Colonial Instructional Television. So in the bottom of the fourth, Colonials will have Werner, Orensky, and Nunez at the plate. PW, 2 runs in the first, none in the second, 1 in the third. Springfield, nothing across yet. Plymouth Whitemarsh has not hosted a district playoff game in a long time, since May of 2008 when it defeated Chichester in the first round of District 1 for a playoff 7-0. The Colonials then lost to Westchester East on the road in the second round. PW hasn't won a district playoff game since 2011, 4-3 at Interboro in the first round. I think Interboro has had no luck in winning a home playoff game since. It's been there a couple of times, but the Bucks have lost at home. That's in there for a called strike, 0-1 now, to which Lerner struck out his first time up. 5 strikeouts for Nick Pave. That's going to be to the right side. That's going to be a fair ball base hit. Look at him go. Rich Winter's going to head to second. It's in the corner, but it's going to be a stand-up double, the second straight inning. PW has a leadoff double, and it's the second of the game for the Colonials, and it's Lerner with the 2-bagger. And it's now Mike Orensky. PW seeing the ball well here. That is, I believe, the 5th hit of this ball game. PW had 3 in the first, none in the second, 1 in the third, now 1 in counting here. No outs in the bottom of the fourth, 3-0 PW, leadoff runner on second. Bunt opportunity, and it gets away from the catcher. And moving up the third is Lerner. That's going to be a wild pitch, I think. PW 90 feet away from a fourth run. By the way, Springfield has allowed 5 hits or fewer in 4 straight. It's in jeopardy. Fouled back. It's the bushes. It's tree limbs on a tree that's bare. And it's 1-1, I believe, the count to Mike Orensky with Werner on third. He had a leadoff double and advanced on a wild pitch. 1-1, Nick Pave still on the mound. If he stays out till 100 pitches, then he'll be taken out. Swung on a miss, though, and 2. 1-2, actually, to Orensky. Looking to drive home Lerner. Jacob Nunez is on deck. He's 1 for 2 with a run. Swung on, grounded to the first base side, foul. And rolls and stops rolling on the turf. Springfield coaching staff will retrieve it since many baseballs allotted per game. So 1-2 to count with no one out. Runner on third in the bottom of the fourth with the Colonials up 3-0. Sent 8 men to the plate in the first inning and got 2 runs out of that deal. And Plymouth Whitemarsh has 3 home runs this season, all at this field in one game in a 7-0 win over Upper Dublin. PW has not won back-to-back conference games by shutout in at least 10 years, I believe. Maybe even more. That is up the middle, grounded to short. For the first is in time, and that's an RBI ground out for Orensky, so he does his job, 1 away. So Werner is home. And that is the 4th run of the game for PW. Colonials 4, Spartans nothing yet. RBI ground out, the second RBI ground out of the game. And it's now Jacob Nunez, who had singled and scored his first time up and struck out in the second against Nick Pave, who has 5 Ks. And they're going to do ball exchange here. The home plate umpire and Nick Pave. And there are 2 umpires, one at home plate, and there's another one who rows in the infield depending on where the players are for the hitting team. And the infield umpire right now is at first base, so 1 out. In the bottom of the 4th, it's 4-0 PW. Springfield has not gotten a base runner in its offensive inning since the top of the 1st. Now it's Nunez, who has a handful of runs scored this season. He'll ground that one to second. 2 away on the row throw, but dug up there by Dom. So 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. It is now Ben Mascio, the pitcher, 0 for 1. He walked his first time and then grounded out his second. Got out his second. And then during his first plate appearance after he walked, he was courtesy run by Danny Green, and that is going to be a called strike. 0-1 now to Mascio with 1 home run in the season. He was a left-handed hitter. Wind is blowing, but ball does carry here. 2 outs. And that is going to be called strike. 0-2, and I think PW faithful and the dugout thinking that was a little bit too close for comfort to even get out of the way, but good pitch. It's 0-2 with 2 outs. And swung on a miss, struck him out. Pave gets his 6th strikeout to retire the side. But PW does get damage. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, no one left. We are through 4 innings in Plymouth, meaning it's Plymouth Whitemarsh 4, Springfield nothing, as in that bottom of the fourth. Werner had a double. He scored, and then there were 2 groundouts and a strikeout. We head to the top of the fifth. It's 4-0 PW. The Athletic Council at Souderton Area High School is pleased to present the second annual Allen Iverson Roundball Classic, April 19th and 21st at Souderton Area High School main gym in Sellersville, PA. This is your chance to come out and see some of the best high school players in the United States. April 19th includes the dunk contest, one-on-one challenge, shooting competition, and free-on-free competition. The Iverson Classic All-American game is scheduled for April 21st at 6 p.m. For more information, visit www.suburban1sports.com and look for Allen Iverson Roundball Classic at Souderton. Should be a fun weekend of events in Souderton, Pennsylvania, at Souderton High School, that is. So we go to the top of the fifth now for the Spartans of Springfield. We'll have 5, 6, and 7 at the dish. Mascio has retired 11 in a row. Just one base runner on an error by Stephen Longo, the shortstop. And Brett Boninger, the first baseman for PW, has made a few stellar plays, robbing hits. Mascio will get some tosses, and the coaches for Springfield will be back out. Whitemarsh expected to do well this season, and so far expectations are being met, but would like to exceed by perhaps getting more than just 3 wins this season in conference play. Again, PW last season was 6-14 overall, 3-11 Suburban 1 America, tied for last with Cheltenham in the conference. PW would like to get a worst to first in 2018, and it's not so far-fetched with the way this PW team has gone. In fact, during the summer of 2017, the Plymouth Whitemarsh Junior Legion baseball team was the state runner-up to Spring City, and it had some PW players. PW also doing well in out-of-school competition. So here is Trevor McCaffrey, who is 0 for 1. He'll take a ball. 1-0 to Trevor McCaffrey, who grounded out the third, his first time up. It'll be McCaffrey, Welsh, and Murphy for Dennis Primavera's squad. Good pitch inside there for a strike in the low corner. It's 1-1 with no one out in the top of the fifth. Remember, we have 7 regulation innings. Should Springfield not score here, if PW gets 6 in the bottom of the fifth, the game would end. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Mascio cruising. 11 batters in a row retired. Swung on and missed, struck him out. How about that? That is the 4th K of the game for Mascio. 1 away in the top of the fifth. And he is a sophomore. PW Zach Chandler pitched a complete game shutout April 6th against Upper Dublin here, 7-0. It's now Welsh. Takes a strike, 0-1. Not letting anyone take a breath. He is cruising. PW up 4-0. It's Brian Murphy. Actually, it's Jake Welsh who struck out. Grounded there. Mascio is going to fire, and there's another out. 13 in a row, retired by Ben Mascio. Grounded out to pitcher. It's 2 away for Brian Murphy, who grounded out to short his last time up. Now Brian Murphy at the dish facing Ben Mascio. That's a little low. Want to know Mascio has not allowed a walk either. First base has been quite lonely since that top of the first inning. Fouled back. That's going to be 1-1 as that's foul ball. Blue skies, a lot of cloud cover. Sun trying to peek through. About 43, 44 Fahrenheit. A little breezy and windy, that is, with the flags. So 4-0 PW, 1-1 top of the fifth. Swung on, I think missed. It's 1-2 with 2 outs at the top of the fifth. PW for Springfield, nothing across. 13 in a row retired. Trying to make it 14 and end this frame. Here's the 1-2. Got him swinging! Make that 14 in a row retired by Ben Mascio. And we head to the bottom of the fifth with PW leading 4-0. And I think a lot of the PW faithful know what is going on with Ben Mascio. And it'll be interesting to see if Ben Mascio will sit next to anyone in the dugout or be left lonely, as he has retired 14 in a row and has issued just one base runner on an error. Go to the bottom of the fifth with PW leading 4-0. The Colonials will have up Longo, Riley, and Krennicke. Longo is 1-1 with a walk and a double and a run. Riley is 0 for 2. He had a strikeout, but he did reach on a strikeout pass ball. Krennicke had an RBI single in the first and flied out to right his last time up. The District 1 6A baseball playoffs are scheduled to begin May 21st, 2018. There are 36 teams in District 1 6A. The top 20 qualify for district playoffs. The top 8 teams will receive first round byes. 5 go to states. Again, first round, the 2018 District 1 6A baseball playoffs scheduled to begin May 21st, 2018. PW hasn't gone to the District 1 playoffs since 2014. Chris Monero's second year then at the helm for PW. Lost 8-0 to Avon Grove and West Grove in the first round. Here's Stephen Longo. Doubled and scored his last time off. He walked his first time up, but was cut off at home on the fielder's choice. Nick Pave is still on the mound. He does have a good amount of strikeouts, and that's going to be popped up foul. Watch out, people! Almost hit kids riding bicycles. At least they are wearing helmets. That is the good news, and they are not hit heads near the victory fields. Thank goodness for protection. 0-1 to count to Longo to begin the bottom of the fifth. Low in the dirt, 1-1. So PW with 5 hits in the game. Springfield hasn't allowed more than 5 since a 4-0 loss in its final game last season in Central Philadelphia. That ball has wings to deep center field, to deep right field, and that will be caught about 10 feet shy of the track. Longo just a little short on that. There'll be another fly out to right. One away in the bottom of the fifth for Kevin Riley, the catcher. Struck out twice, but reached on a strikeout pass ball his last time up. Nick Pave, the pitcher, still for Springfield, has 6 strikeouts. So Riley trying to reach for the first time on a base hit, though. Takes a strike. 0-1. Game began at 3:45 p.m. Eastern on this April 10th, 2018. We got ourselves a beauty of a game. Weather, a little bit breezy in the 40s, but PW, the defense flashing the lever and getting timely hitting. 0-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the fifth. PW has a 4-0 lead on Springfield, Montgomery County. And at the plate is Kevin Riley with Brad Krennicke, 1 for 2 an RBI single at the dish next up, waiting in the wings for Chris Monero's team. Before Monero, the head coach was Robert Slagle. That is very high. Good eye there for Riley. PW has not won the Suburban 1 title since 2005. PW definitely could be a force this season. Strike free called looking. 7th K for Nick Pave. He's had only one 1-2 free inning. He's retired the first 2 here. It's 5 in a row retired, I believe, by Pave. Now in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs would be Brad Krennigy, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game. RBI single. Grounded up. That's a weak grounder, and that's going to be a tough one. An infield single for Brad Krennigy. 6th hit, and for the first time this season, Springfield, I believe, has allowed 6 base hits. It is the first time the Spartans have allowed more than 5 hits since its final game last season, a 4-0 loss at Central. Gave up 8 to the Lancers. May 17, 2017. We're going to have a conference on the mound with Dennis Primavera's squad. Wonder if Pave is a little hurt and needs to get warm-ups. Or if it's time to get another pitcher. Pave might have gotten hurt trying to field the ball. Nick Pave, I think, is under 100 pitches, the maximum you can throw in a game. Now, you could be at 97 before the plate appearance, and then once you reach 100, you're out. Courtesy runner now for Krennigy. It's Green coming back in. Green scored a run for Mascio in the first inning. So Danny Green on with 2 out after the infield single. Nick Pave seems to be okay, which is a good sign for this club. But Pave with 7 strikeouts on the mound. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, now 1 here in the 5th. Low. Good eye there. 1-0 to Andrew Cleach. RBI single his first time up. Then an RBI ground out his last time up. He is 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in, so been productive so far against Nick Pave. Cleach grounds it, fouled the third base side. 1-1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. 4-0 PW over Springfield. Spartans in the top of the 6th, I believe, will have 8, 9, and 1 hitters. McCann, Keown, and Farley. Pave will take the ball back. I don't believe Pave will be in for much longer depending on pitch count. Dennis Primavera, of course, keeping a close eye. He's in his 6th season at the helm for the Spartans. Dancing off the bag, and now trying to go is Green. A good throw, and they got him in the pickoff. And they got him. Caught stealing is Green. It looks like he's a little banged up. And he slams the turf in anger. Caught stealing is Danny Green, a retired aside. So Cleach will bat in the bottom of the 6th. That's going to retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left on base through 5 innings. It's Plymouth Whitemarsh 4, Springfield nothing, and Danny Green is a little gimpy to get up, wincing in pain. But Brett Bottinger, the first baseman, will take his spot again as Ben Mascio throwing a masterpiece, retiring 14 in a row, allowing just 1 base runner so far. And heading to the top of the 6th, Springfield down by 4. We'll have McCann, Keown, and McLeod, Farley. The PWA District 1 organizes district playoffs for high schools in Bucks, Montgomery, Chester, and Delaware counties. For more information, visit piaad1.org. And I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss, Tuesday, April 10th, 2018, CITV's first broadcast at the new PW Varsity Baseball Turf in Plymouth meeting. And a lot of changes are coming in Plymouth meeting as the Plymouth Whitemarsh Victory 1 turf field had a renovation after the fall 2017 season. How about what used to be Plymouth Whitemarsh Gym West? A new auxiliary gym is coming along, scheduled to open to be done this summer in 2018. Plymouth Whitemarsh 2018 spring sports hoping to go to district playoffs, something that did not happen last spring. The Plymouth Whitemarsh softball team entering April 10th, 2-1, started the season 2-0 with 7-6 win over West Hick and a 6-1 win over Upper Dublin, one in which Jen Byrne hit a 2-run home run. Lost in a run rule to Hatboro Horsham April 9th. Plymouth Whitemarsh girls lacrosse free and free. Allie Diamond with, I believe, 176 varsity goals, just 11 behind Colin Joka, who had 187 2008 to 2011 for the Plymouth Whitemarsh boys lacrosse team. PW boys lacrosse just picked up its first win of the season, 12-10 over Lower Marion on April 6th to improve to 1-3. So for Springfield, it will be McCann, Keown, and Farley. It's Mitchell McCann who grounded out his only time up. And I think it's getting a bit chillier. Wind still picking up speed, but Ben Massio is not going to let that deter him. He has been the story, and so is his defense. First base has been lonely after the first inning, and that's going to be no different there with a called strike 0-1 to Mitchell McCann. Chop there, put down. We'll have to hurry. Got him! Good recovery, one away. Sharing is caring. Unselfish baseball, picking it up. That is a ground out to short. After the deflection, one away. And first base is going to remain lonely for the 15th straight plate appearance. 15 consecutive retired by Ben Massio as he faces Kevin Keown, who struck out his only time up. And takes a strike there, 0-1. On deck will be MacLeod Farley, who is 0-2. Baffling is the word to use that Ben Massio has been against Springfield. And it's a little outside, but in 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the 6th, 4-0. Plymouth Whitemarsh over the Springfield Spartans. Springfield at the dish. Low 2-1. Massio has 5 strikeouts, I think, in this game. Two-one. That's 2 away on the ground out to Jacob Nunez. 16 put aside in a row by Ben Massio. PW trying to make this a 3-game win streak. PW hasn't lost since April 5th. 5-4 here, in which it led 4-3 and then giving up 2 runs late. Popped up on the infield by Farley. Another 1-2-3 inning. That's 17 in a row. And this is going to be an interesting top of the 7th for Ben Massio if he has the pitch count. He has retired 17 in a row, just 1 base runner on an error. One of the best masterpieces we've seen in recent memory in the works, as that is a pop out to Brett Bottinger to retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, no one left. This has been Ben Massio and the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials going to the bottom of the sixth, leading 4-0. Unbelievable game. And I've got Cyril Weiss. It's time to go to the bottom of the sixth. Plymouth Whitemarsh will have Cleash, Tomasetti, and Lerner. Cleash has batted in the bottom of the fifth, but Danny Green, the courtesy runner for Brad Kroenke, was caught stealing, so Cleash will be back up. Plymouth Whitemarsh Athletics is on Twitter. You can follow PW Athletics with the handle at PWATHLEILETICS1. PW Athletics 1. You can also find out more about Plymouth Whitemarsh Athletics by going to pwathletics.org to get schedules. Next edition of CITV Sports is scheduled for Wednesday, April 18, 2018. Suburban 1 American girls lacrosse between the Upper Dublin Lady Cardinals and the Plymouth Whitemarsh Lady Colonials. PW girls lacrosse free entering April 10th. Had an impressive 14-3 win at Haverford High on April 9th. Led, I think, 11-2 after the first half. Dominated there. Allie Diamond had 4 goals. She's heading to Georgetown after the school year. There's a new pitcher on the mound for Springfield. It's McLeod Farley. Nick Pave did, I would think, an exceptional job. He gave up 4 runs, though, on 6 hits. But he had, I think, 7 strikeouts. So now Matt Cloud Farley, who was the last Springfield pitcher to give up a home run. That was back in April of 2016, a 3-2 loss at Norristown, back when Norristown was in Suburban 1 American. So Cleash will return to the plate. He is 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Farley's first pitch. And there for a called strike, 0-1 to Drew Cleash. The bottom of the 6th. Another good pitch low there. For a called strike, it's 0-2 with no one out in the bottom of the 6th and PW leading 4-0. Swung on and kept alive by batting it foul near the batter's box. So Farley again with another 0-2 pitch to Cleash. The 0-2. Popped up, and that's going ahead out of play. Watch out, parking lot. That Colonial Elementary School. There's the danger of having a field near a parking lot. Watch out, cars. Still 0-2. Low in near the dirt. It's 1-2 to Andrew Cleash. No one out. Bottom of the 6th, the leadoff hitter. Tomasetti and Lerner to follow. That ball has wings to deep left field and is outgoing. And I don't know if it went out. It looked like it went off the wall. We need to have a conference. That's a long single. That came very close to leaving the yard. And it is a very, very long single as that went off the wall. So Cleash, who had 1 sayonara last year, nearly went out on this one. And it's Anthony Tomasetti. That's the 7th hit of the game for PW. That's Cleash's 2nd single, but this is a very long single. That one looked like it had the wings to leave. And Farley nearly gave up a home run there. And he'll throw to Dom, and Tim Dom will throw it back. So Cleash take a little lead with the bunt on. Tomasetti draws back. scoreboard has the count 1-1 with no one out. Bottom of the sixth, runner on first. It's Cleach. Tomasetti at the dish. He's 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a strikeout. And getting there safely is Andrew Cleach. So 1-1. Farley get the signs and ready will deliver. Batted, and it will be foul. Goes to the right side. So 1-2 to count. So 2 strikes for Anthony Tomasetti, the third baseman. If we go to a top of a 7th, if PW doesn't score 6 runs in this inning, it would be Tim Dom, Nick Pave, and Max Perry for Springfield. If PW scores 6 runs in this inning, the game would end. The sun has come out, shining in its glory. PW leading 4-0. No home runs here yet. Cleach nearly went out in the last plate appearance before this one. That ball is going to be to center field, and that's going to be a base hit. And Cleach is going to have a heads-up play at third, and he'll be at third on the single by Anthony Tomasetti. That's his first base hit of the game. Back-to-back singles will put the Colonials with runners in the corners, no one out in the bottom of the 6th. And if PW gets to 10 runs total, the game will end. And it's now going to be Rich Lerner, who is 1 for 2 with a strikeout and then a double and a run. Now, the double and the run was in the 4th inning. So, wonder if Farley's going to stay in or not. Courtesy runner Tomasetti is going to be taken out. Their base coach for PW will give him instruction. And it will be Willen again. Tyler Willens in for Tomasetti as Werner's at the dish. So runners at the corners, no one out, bottom of the 6th, 4-0 PW. In there for a called strike by Farley. And it's 0-1 to Rich Lerner. Mike Orensky's on deck. He is 0 for 2, but with an RBI ground out. PW leading by 4, would like to get more. Throw to Tim Dom, it's not in time, he'll drop the ball. As PW doing all the little things and the right plays. And time is called at first base for Tyler Willens to tuck his jersey in, readjust. It is a little bit on the chilly side. On the 10th of April 2018, 0-1 to count. No one out. Bottom of the 6, runners on first and third. There's a strike. Willens will take third. I think the double steal might have been attempted, but it was just a straight steal to second. So stolen base will be credited to Willens. So runners at second and third with no one out in the bottom of the 6th, and the Colonials up 4-0 on the Spartans of Springfield Township. McLeod Farley, third batter faced. He has not retired anyone yet, as he is in relief. He's in relief for Pave. A little bit out of the zone, 1 and 2. Rich Lerner had a double his last time up. Andrew Cleach nearly hit a sayonara to the left this inning. Farley has been in trouble, and that's going to be into right field. Up center for a base hit. Run scores. The brakes will be put on. It's 5-0 PW. Kleisch gets his first run scored of the game. An RBI single for Lerner. And now it's Mike Orensky with the bases. Not loaded yet, but with the bases 2/3 loaded. It's runners at the corners again with no one out. Bottom of the 6th, 5-0 PW. PW scores 5 more runs this inning. The game will end on the run rule. And Ben Mascio has retired 17 in a row. The PW pitcher has. Just one base runner around. It was an error in the top of the 1st. So Willens on 3rd, Lerner at 1st. Orensky takes a strike. It's 0-1 to Mike Orensky, who was struck out and grounded out. But the last time he had that bat, he had a RBI ground out to make it 4-0. Now he's going, and it's just going to be a straight steal. Even after defensive indifference. But it's just going to be a straight steal. Good eyes for Lerner. So second stolen base in my book then. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike with runners at 2nd and 3rd. No one out in the bottom of the 6th. No one. He run one across this inning. Off MacLeod Farley. Outside. 2-1. Farley a little bit wild. So Farley has allowed back-to-back-to-back singles. PW has 9 hits, I think, in this ball game. And now Farley will deal. Low, 3-1 to count. He's having a little bit of trouble. PW looking for 10 hits the first time for the 2nd straight game and for the first time this in conference play. Back to 2nd and good grab there for the Spartans. Good grab by Jake Welsh out in 2nd. So Lerner at 2nd, I think Willens at 3rd, no one out in the bottom of the 6th. Orensky will take his base and the run will score on a wild pitch. It will be a walk and a wild pitch. And scoring on the wild pitch is Tomasetti. It's now 6-0 PW. Runners advance and Lerner advances to 3rd. Orensky safe on a walk. 2 runs across here with no one out in the bottom of the 6th. If PW scores 4 more runs, this game will end. It's Jacob Nunez, and if Nunez gets on or another run scored, it will be interesting if Ben Mascio would want to swing for the fences. That'll be popped up, fouled to the right side. Oh, I think that might hit a car. Does anyone have insurance? Not sure the Colonial School District necessarily like to hear any broken cars. So 0-1 to count to Nunez, who is 1 for 3 with a run scored. MacLeod Farley will throw, and that ball has wings to right field. It is outgoing foul. A little short, even if it would have had the distance. 0-2 as Orensky was going. PW very aggressive this inning. The Colonials do know what's at stake. A 3rd straight win on its schedule, its 5th win overall, and a 3rd conference win, which would match its season total from last year when it went 3-11 in the conference. And that's a good pitch inside, and that will strike him out. That is the 8th strikeout for the Colonials. 1 away. That's the 2nd time Nunez has struck out, and it's now Ben Mascio, the star on the field right now. He is 0 for 2. He walked and scored. Also has a ground out and a strikeout. He has 1 home run this season. Now they're going. He's going to hit the ball. Base hit! Run will score at 7-0. He is safe. RBI single for Mascio. A home run here will end the ball game. RBI single will score now. Werner, 3 runs across. In the bottom of the 6th with 1 out. McLeod Farley definitely struggling here. Entering this game, Farley has not done that bad of a job on the mound. And now up would be Stephen Longo. McLeod Farley has given up 1 earned run in a couple innings pitched this year. Will be a courtesy runner for Mascio with 1 away. It will be number uniform 26 for PW as the courtesy runner, Ryan Kane. So it's now Longo at the dish, 1 for 2 with a double and a run. 0-1 to Longo. So Oreski's at third, and at first is Ryan Kane. And he'll swing and miss. I think he wanted the ball game to end on that swing. 0-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th, 7-0 PW. Longo has 1 home run. If he hits 1 here, the game will end. He'll check his swing. Did he go? And they say he did. The umpires will run him up, but a check swing will put now Kane on second with 2 away to strike out there. Second strikeout this inning. Now the 8th batter of the inning, Kevin Riley. He would like to redeem himself. He has 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, but he reached his 2nd time on a strikeout pass ball. If he gets a base hit, 2 runs could score. Again, 3 more runs and the game will end by run rule for PW this 6. So 0-1 to Riley. Does not have to go for a home run, just got to keep the inning going. McLeod Farley, relief pitcher, giving up 3 runs here. Lowe gets away, and there's the 8th run. 4th run in the inning, and scoring was Oreski on the wild pitch. That's his first run scored. So 1-1 now the count. 8-0 PW. A home run here would end the ball game. By run rule, on deck is Brad Krenicki. 1-2 now to Riley with Ryan Crane at third. Popped up, that will be out of play on the Colonial drive. So 1-2 the count. 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th. PW has pushed 4 runs across this inning on 4 hits. Farley deals a ball 2-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Runner on third. A long ball would end the ball game. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Struck out the side to retire the side. 8 players went to bat. There were 4 hits and 4 runs. No errors and 1 left. We go to the top of the 7th. Ben Mascio pitching a masterpiece. If he has under 100 pitches, will be back on the mound. And for the Spartans, heading to the top of the 7th, which would be the final regulation inning, should it end that way, would have Tim Dom, Nick Pave, and Max Perry. And what a game this is. Again, 17 in a row retired by Mascio. Just taking his time to go back at the mound. And I'm not sure if anyone talked to him in the dugout, as he has only allowed a runner by an error that was at the top of the 1st with 1 out to Tim Dom. He's the one who reached on an error by Stephen Longo, the shortstop. He will be at the plate to begin this top of the 7th. He reached on an error by Longo and grounded out to 3-1. I have his last time up on a very nice defensive play, I believe, by Bottinger. So Mascio throwing back to Lively. And PW wins this game, will be its 5th win of the season and 3rd in conference play, would improve to 3-1 Suburban 1 American to match its win total in conference play from last season. And PW, a storied history in baseball, along with basketball. 1994 state champs, 3 district titles, an array of Suburban 1 titles as well. PW hasn't won a playoff game in 7 years and hasn't hosted a playoff game since 2010, which was a second round loss 7-1 to Avon Grove. PW had a first round bye, it was tied 1-1 actually, heading to the top of the 7th, but gave up 6 runs in the top of the 7th to do them in and end the season. PW's last second round district game was in 2011, 11-1 5-inning run rule loss to Springfield, which had a pitcher, Mike Ozypak, who had this ridiculous ERA. I think it was under 0.2 if I wasn't mistaken. And he gave up an RBI double at top of the 1st to Jake Mascio. Speaking of Mascio, and I think he might have a relation. So Ben Mascio, 3 outs away from ending this ball game, and he'll face Dom. And that's a strike, going 1. 17 in a row retired, just 1 base runner allowed. 8-0 PW. 3 outs and the game would end. Mascio taking his time. Swung on and missed. 0-2 to count to Tim Dom. Nick Pave is on deck if he is still in the game to bat, as Nick Pave had 5 innings on the mound before giving way to McLeod Farley. 0-2 pitch coming here. Ground ball. Tough throw here, but he'll retire. 1 away. A ground out to the pitcher. 1 down, 2 to go. 18 in a row retired. And Pave is the next one, I think, if he is still playing. It will be Nick Pave, 0-2 on the day he is, with 2 ground outs. Ground out in the 1st, grounded out in the 4th. 2 outs to go in the top of the 7th. This one will be history. Mascio has his signs. It's a little low there. 1-0 to count to Nick Pave. The sophomore Ben Mascio, trying to finish off PW's 2nd straight conference shutout win. Checked his swing there. Did he go? He did! The umpire down the first base line says he did. And that's a strike there to Pave. Here at the PW varsity baseball turf. 1-1 to count with 1 out, top of the 7th. 8-0 PW. First base has been quite lonely. A little low, 2-1. Did not have a runner reach base in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. And so far this inning, just a runner on an error in the top of the 1st. All eyes on the guy in the mound. Low, 3-1. He has not issued a walk. And the maximum amount of pitches you can throw is 100. Might be getting close, but I'm not sure if he's there yet. So 3-1 to count to Nick Pave, with Max Perry scheduled to be on deck. Chopper. And that will be an infield single. We're going to see how it's scored. We're going to see what the board has. And Nick Pave is on first on a ground ball, with Max Perry up. So 1-0. Now it's getting away. So Nick Pave is on first, ending an 18 in a row stretch, retired. Throw back to first, he'll be safe. That was a single, so that ends the no-hitter for Ben Mascio with just 2 outs to go. And now you know why the Colonials wanted to swing for the fences in the bottom of the 6th. So close for that no-no. And that chopper, and it was on an infield chopper, that was an infield single. Got a feel for Ben Mascio having the game of his career on the mound. Just a second base runner issued, and Pave has been on for the first time. And in the first inning, he grounded the ball, got out, and then it looked like it was an out by Tim Dom at third base, but apparently was brought back in to continue the inning. So 3-1 the count to Max Perry, who is 0 for 2 and 2 ground outs. Just 1 hit allowed by Mascio. Just happened. And this could do it. There's 1. There's 2, and the ball game is over. Plymouth Whitemarsh wins 8-0 on the 1-hitter by Ben Mascio. What a performance by the sophomore, who narrowly misses a no-hitter because of an infield chopper that they could not get to first base. So Springfield finished the game with no runs on and hit, with no errors. PW finishes the game with 8 runs on 10 hits and an error, with a few left on base. Plymouth Whitemarsh improves to 5-2 overall, 3-1 in Suburban 1 American to match its conference win total from a year ago. Springfield drops to 2-3 overall and 1-2 in Suburban 1 American. That's another edition of CITV Sports. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. Thank you for watching. Ben Mascio finishes the game on the 1-hitter.